Alright, Shalom. This is Priest Shemayawan, and I'm going to touch on the Temple Man. I touched on it a little bit at camp about a week or so ago. And basically, first of all, shout out to Judah Nazareth of the Torah Knights, of course. This is where I got it from. Alright, that's doing the work for the Most High. And we got to understand everybody has their certain callings to do. But he's been mainly emphasizing the Temple Man, which is important, especially if you're going into a debate about certain things. It's also important because it's mentioned about the temple in Ezekiel, the 44th chapter, about the restoring of the temple. Now, the temple can be physical, which is the actual temple or building, and it could be the second part of the physical, which is actually your body, right? We're the temple of the Most High, like Paul mentions. So, with the aspects of the temple, there's components to it. And what I was touching at camp is, if you look at the nature of a pig, right, there's a reason the Most High tells you not to eat it. Right, it's a very carnal animal. It puts its head down. Right, it shows it's inferior. Right, and this is why it's an unclean animal. It channels its lower self. So you got a higher and lower self dealing with the Temple Man. So we're gonna get into it, and I'm gonna touch on the epistle of Barnabas, right? Because you have Paul and Barnabas. They had their little separate ways, but, Barnabas had his certain books. So I'm going to read it, particularly dealing with the Temple Man in the book. I'm going to deal with it, but I'm not going to tell you to trust all in. What disclaimer, I'm not going to tell you to trust in all what it's saying. You know what I'm saying? You got to take the meat and spit out the bones. But even the bones you have to look into. You know what I'm saying? Because those are some interesting stuff. Okay, so I'm going to touch mainly on the birds and then get into the other animals another lesson, another series. So this is part 1. Here we go. This is the book of Barnabas, chapter 9 and verse 1. But why did Moses say, "Ye shall not eat of the swine, neither the eagle, nor the hawk, nor the crow, or nor any fish that hath not scales upon it"? Now, answer that in a spiritual sense. So answer in a spiritual sense. Because I was telling the brother Zamar, right? Shalom to that brother. Peace and blessings to him. You have to look at these things in a spiritual manner, especially when you're dealing with Torah, man. There's something called, something called twofold. I always tell brothers, man. Yeah, something may be talking about a prophecy here, but it's talking about something different, it can be talking about two different things. One being Isaiah, the 53rd chapter, right? I say it's twofold. A lot of brothers may disagree, but, it is what it is. That's how I see it. And Paul did say in Romans, the 14th chapter and 5th verse, he said, "Let every man be persuaded in his own mind." Meaning what? You can't change my damn opinion of how I see things. Because my perspective and your perspective are totally different. And let's keep it like that. Shoot. That's why when you try to get people to believe in what you believe in, that's not how it works, man. You gotta let them see it. The Most High gotta let them take heed to it. That's the truth. You keep, trying to tell someone to repent. They have to see light on you. They have to take heed to what you're saying. They have to study for themselves. That's why work out your own salvation. It's none of your business what another man is doing, really. Alright, so look at it in a spiritual sense, Barnabas is saying. He comprehended three doctrines that were to be gathered from thence. Verse 2, besides, he says to them in the book of Deuteronomy, I'll give my statutes unto his people. Wherefore it is not the command of Yahweh that should not eat these things. But Moses in the Spirit spake unto them. Now, so he forbade them to eat, meaning thus much, thou shalt not join thyself to persons as are like unto swine, who live in pleasure, forget Yahweh, and when any once pinches them, they know Yahweh. As the soul, when she is full, not her master, but when she is hungry, she make a noise, and being again fed, is silent. Right. So we have to be not as the swine, the pig, like I said, wherefore lives in pleasure and forgets the Most High, right? But when it wants any penitence them, they know Yahweh, and as they sow, when she is full, knows not her master, right? So a pig, when it's full and empty, when it's full from eating, what I'm saying, ain't worrying with the master. You don't even know who, you don't pay attention, right? But when it's hungry, it makes all the noise in the world. God, you know how a pig makes all the noise. And again, being fed, it is silent, because he filled up his belly. So now look at a man's walk, right? They can fill up their belly with the lies they tell you. And the more money you give to them, the more they're going to keep teaching you propaganda, right? And the less money you give to them, they're going to, exile you. They want nothing to do with you. They don't even know who the hell you is now. Kind of like the pastors, even some camp leaders. Neither says he, shalt thou eat the eagle, nor the hawk, nor the kite, nor the crow. Thou shalt not keep company with such kind of man, know not how their labor and sweat get themselves food. Right. So these particular birds, there's a positive and negative to each animal, right? So don't hang with a man who don't know how to get what he got to do, man. It's like a labor and work. You know what I'm saying? I think Proverbs, and I believe it sticks of a man that don't work, he doesn't eat, right? He doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to work to eat. Feel me? But ravish away the things of others and watch how they lay snares for them. Right. So these birds right here are in fact predators. That's the negative part about them. They're predators. They swoop on their prey. They trap their prey. When at the same time they live in perfect innocence. Right. They'll lay a snare for others. So basically these type of people will put on a facade. So these birds alone seek not food for themselves, but sitting idle, seek how they may eat the flesh others have provided. So you can't be in the state of doing nothingness, right? Being destructive through their own wickedness. It's like the scripture says, the carnal mind is empty with the Most High, and if you're always in a state of doing nothingness, that's when, Hashem really can get a hold of you, man. Okay, I think that's similar to that. But dealing with the swine, you know what I'm saying? The negative part, of course, don't be slothful, okay? Dealing with, and dealing with the slothfulness, man that don't work, you don't eat. And don't be try to fill your belly where you got people suffering. And use them for your own benefit. You're filling your belly while everybody else is suffering. As the birds that was listed, these are predators. You know what I'm saying? And really don't work for that what they got. They just trap some things and wait for stuff. You know, and sits idle and doing nothing until it sees something they can swoop easily. And that's just how, you know, our people gotta stop doing that. You know, like I said, they appear to live in perfect innocence. Just like those who's in this truth at times. They appear that they say they know the Most High, like Matthew said, but the heart is far from them. You get what I'm saying? You got people that just, look to entice. Look to swoop in on you. You know what I'm saying? And take your innocence. Then they go away, these guys just, married these women and putting them away. But that's one of many examples. We're going to go back to the book. I'll come back to the book of Barnabas, or Epistle of Barnabas. I asked for, at that, like I said, I got a couple videos more to bring out. That's just something I wanted to bring out. I told the officer, Mikael, I was going to get on it. And somehow I lost my notes from Judah Nazareth stuff. But I'll get back on it. Like I said, Shalom to Judah Nazareth, the whole Torah nights. Continue doing your labors. Shout out to Alazar Bonloyo and Officer Kari, Officer Mikael, the brothers Amar, and those who are all sincere, you know what I'm saying? And I'm definitely going to pray for my enemies, just like Yahushua and Mashiach said to do. And with that, Shalom.